how's everyone doing there tonight? This is Undead Nightmare 24, back with the new video. And in tonight's video, I will be doing a top 20 for 2020 from killer animal movies from my collection. And this will be based off my collection. I know there's some other good movies out there that I don't own, so I put this together as a top 20 the best I could. And I would like to thank Horrific Nightmares JM and Joe the Horror Man for putting this together. It's been fun. And this was a tough one to do because I don't own a bunch of killer animal films, but I put together the best I could. And I hope you enjoy it. Let's get it started. We'll start off with number 20, which is, you can see there, Open Water 3 Cage Dive. And this was a fun flick. It's probably my favorite one out of the trilogy. It does show a lot more sharks in it. So at number 20, that's Open Water 3 Cage Dive. And just to let you know, there's going to be a lot of alligator and shark movies because that's what I own mainly. And next up we have Big Legend. And this is a Bigfoot movie, and I consider Bigfoot an animal. I know he's kind of a myth, but I do enjoy watching these. And this is a fun one too. It has a Lance Hendrickson in it. The creature looks awesome in this movie, so I recommend this if you haven't seen it. Big Legend at number 19. Number 18, we got The Last Shark, and this is a fun one. Definitely an Italian creature feature, and it's also a big time Jaws ripoff, but I still have fun with this, man. The shark looks pretty cool. It's The Last Shark at number 18. Number 17, we have another Bigfoot movie, or you could say Abominable. I hope I said that right. I'm horrible at that name. But this one's a fun one too, and it pretty much takes place in a cabin out in the woods. And this guy's in a wheelchair, which makes it even more nerve-wracking. And it pretty much has these girls that go next door to party, and this guy's kind of spying on him, has a paranoia of a Bigfoot, and he ends up getting there and terrorizing those girls that are the neighbors with us. Has some fun gore in it, and I really liked it. So number 17 is Abominable. I hope I didn't slaughter that name. Number 16, we got Piranha 2 The Spawning. And this is some cheesy fun. I know it's not a popular one among people, horror fans, but I really enjoy this, and it has freaking piranhas with wings, man. What more can you ask for there? It's a lot of fun, flying and mutilating. So at number 16, we got Piranha 2. At number 15, I'm going to go with Stephen King's The Graveyard Shift. And this is a fun one too. It's got like an underground giant rat. Pretty fun. Bunch of killer rat movie by Stephen King. I'm sure a lot of you have seen this. If you haven't, I recommend it. Number 15, we got Stephen King's Graveyard Shift. Number 14, got Madhouse. I do consider this a killer animal flick because this girl here that controls the Rottweiler, and he does a lot of the killing in the movie. So it's definitely a killer animal film. I consider it. So at number 14, we got Madhouse. And at 13, we got The Canyon. And this is always a good one. I can't even talk here. This is always one I enjoyed. And it's basically about a couple, they're honeymooners, and they go out to they go out to the Grand Canyon. And they end up with this guide who supposed to guide him through this Grand Canyon, excuse me, I can't talk right now, in the desert, and he ends up getting hurt, possibly, don't want to give too much of a spoiler, but ends up leaving them pretty much alone, and they end up stranded in like this cave-like area, and there's a bunch of like coyotes ready to munch them, so this girl's constantly struggling. Also, her husband is injured, so really badly hurt, so she has to protect him pretty much by herself to fight off these coyotes that are just hungry to eat him. So this is a fun film. Recommend it if you haven't seen it. Very underrated. So it's number 13, The Canyon. 12, we got Of Unknown Origin. This has Peter Weller from RoboCop. This is a fun one. Another killer rat movie. Pretty much about this guy here left alone, and he's battling this giant rat inside his apartment complex. It pretty much turns with a showdown between him and the rat, man. A lot of fun. So I highly recommend this one, of unknown origin, at number 12. Number 11, I'm gonna go with The Shallows. Really like this movie. It's fun. It has a good action showdown between Blake Lively and this shark, man, and it's intense, man. Has some pretty good moments in it, and Blake Lively looks really lovely in this movie. So this is a real good one. Recommend it. I'm sure you guys have seen it. If not, highly recommend it. At number 11, The Shallows. Number 10, we're going back to The Gator, Crawl. And this one's a lot of fun too. I watched this a while back. I enjoyed it. I love the atmosphere, and it has a great story. Some pretty nice crocs or alligator. I don't know what. One of those pretty much attacking. This girl's got to fight it off. She's also got an injured father. So it's a pretty fun one too. Number 10, we got Crawl. Number 9, we'll go with The Great Alligator. And this is some Italian cheese right here, man. This one's fun. Really enjoy it, by Sergio Martino. And it has a giant alligator pretty much brutalizing people. And stars Barbara Bach and Mel Ferrer. I can't say that name, but he's in a lot of Italian movies as well. This one's a great one. Highly recommend it. Number 9, The Great Alligator. Number 8, we got Frozen. This one's a good one. Survival. It's pretty much about these. I apologize for that glitch there. These two, actually, it's 3 people. There's a man, his girlfriend, and his best friend. They end up getting like forgotten about on a ski lift and stuck there for the weekend. Pretty much, they gotta fight the intense cold that's there, not to freeze. And also, there's a pack of wolves at the bottom just waiting to eat them one by one. So this is intense. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend it. Number 8 is Frozen. Number 7, we got Spasms, starring Peter Fonda and Oliver Reed. This is a fun one as well. It has a giant snake pretty much with venom. And he ends up terrorizing. Well, he ends up getting shipped in this box, man, to this like laboratory, science laboratory. And they end up getting nosy and seeing what's in the box and unleashing this creature, this beast, on everyone. And he ends up just paralyzing people, man, with some gruesome kills. Nice score. And here's a little sight of the back, as you can see there. Some great effects in this flick. This is a fun one, man. So at number 7, I got Spasms. Number 6, we have Alligator. Rest in peace, Robert Forster, legend. And this one's fun too, man. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen it. It's about an alligator, baby alligator, that ends up getting flushed down the toilet. Ends up in the bottom of a sewer. I don't know if there's toxic waste that gets on him, or he just grows giant size. I can't remember, but man, the effects on these are cool. And has some fun kills, as well as this alligator looks really awesome in this movie. Number 6 is Alligator. Number 5, I'm going to go with Killer Crocodile. And this does have also part 2, so I'll probably include them together. And I watched these the other night, and these were fun, man. It's basically about some scientists going to this giant river, trying to pretty much test the waters and get rid of some toxic waste that's been in there. But they end up meeting this giant alligator that's in there just stalking people and hunting them and eating them. And the alligator just looks hilarious in this film. Looks like a giant plastic alligator, but it's still pretty fun, man. I have enjoyed it. It has some great cheesy moments that I was laughing out loud on this film, but in a good way. So I highly recommend these films if you haven't seen them. Killer Crocodile 1 and 2. Number 5. Number 4, I'm going to go with Anaconda, and it's the quadrilogy. But I'm going to pick, with the rules of this, so you can only pick one from the franchise. So I'm going to go with part 1, of course. And I've seen this in a lot of people's lists, but it's one of my top films as well. It has Jennifer Lopez and Ice Cube, man, and John Voight, I think, is in this as well. Yeah, he plays a great villain. And the snake looks awesome. Like, there is some CGI in it, but it doesn't bother me that bad. And I just like the way the snake looks, and there's some great kills in this film as well. A great twist and story on this as well. So before we got Anaconda Part 1. Number 3, we're gonna go with Man's Best Friend, and starring Lance Hendrickson. And this movie is, I hadn't seen this since like VHS days, and if Scream Factory released it, I had to get up on it and copy it, man. But this is a fun one, man. This is underrated. I really enjoyed it. It's got this high-tech Rottweiler, man, that just is a straight killer. He's just designed to kill. And I mean, this guy, Lance Hendrickson's the ones that created him. He ends up busting out and going to a home and staying with this girl who actually just is played by Ali Sheedy. I hope I said her name right. I'm bad at names. Anyway, she takes him in as a pet, and he ends up like pretty much romantically in love with her, so he won't harm her, but other people that get in her way, man. He has some brutal kills. And it just has an end showdown that's classic, man. It's like kind of like a Rottweiler Terminator. It's pretty cool. But this movie is really good, man. Highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. Man's Best Friend at number 3. Number 2, we got Cujo, the classic, Stephen King. So much nostalgia in this film. I mean, I grew up watching this as a kid, man. It used to just terrify me because I was always around dogs in the neighborhood, and actually my grandma owned a Saint Bernard, and the dog's name was Cujo from this film. She named it after this film. So I used to watch this movie all the time as a kid, and it would terrify me, man. And it's pretty much that Saint Bernard ends up getting bit by a bat and becoming rabid, and he's by this couple owns him in this farm. He ends up just on a murdering spree, and then it ends up with a showdown with him in that car, the mom and son there, and it's pretty frightening, man. They're just trapped in that car, and then not only is the dog a terror to them. Apologize for that glitch again, guys. Sorry about that. Camera's acting up. But also, not only is the dog a terror to them, as I was saying, but also the heat. They're like in this car with heat, and the kid pretty much he's having problems breathing. He's sick. They're in there for days. And I'm sure a lot of you have seen this movie, but it has some great effects in it as well. Cujo at number 2. And at number 1, I'm going to go with Jaws. There's not a a killer animal film better to me than this, man. It has it all. It's just creepy. The score, classic. I love the shark in here, the great white, and he just stalks his prey, man. There's some scenes in here I just leave you. It left me in shock for growing up. Now I see it and I'm like, I know more about it. But when I was growing up, man, I feared the water because of this movie, man. It's an all-time classic. What more can I say about it, man? It's just a great film. Number 1, we got Jaws. I'm gonna do a quick recap here as I go through this. So we're gonna go with what I had at number 20 was Open Water 3. 19, we had Big Legend. 18, we had The Last Shark. 17, we had Abominable. I can't say that. I hope I said it right. Number 16, we got Piranha 2, The Spawning. 15, we got Stephen King's Graveyard Shift. 14, we have Madhouse. 13, we have The Canyon. 12, we have Of Unknown Origin. 11, we got The Shallows. 10, we got Crawl. 9, we have The Great Alligator. 8, Frozen. 7, Spasms. 6, Alligator. 5, Killer Crocodile. 4, Anaconda. 3, Man's Best Friend. 2, Cujo. And at 1, The Great Jaws, man. So I'd like to thank Horrific Nightmares JM and Joe the Horror Man for putting this together, and I'm really having fun with this. So hope everyone enjoys this video. Please leave a like and subscribe, as well as some comments. And everyone have a great night. Stay safe. Peace out.